Hello again, YouTube fans, and welcome to another review slash shameless promotion video disguised as a review. We are here to talk about not the book that we're promoting right now on Kickstarter, Drumsticks of Doom. Well, kind of. We're here to talk about some of the influences. The last two videos have gone over some of the things that influenced the book, story creation prior to sitting down to write the book. Today's book is something that inspires me going forward, something that I read long after the seeds of Drumsticks of Doom were planted, but something that makes me want to continue to make it. There's a theme to the last couple videos, and that is music-themed comics, and this one is a great one, not to spoil it right off the jump. So this isn't what we're covering, just again, sneaking in that shameless promotion. But we're here to talk about Chasing the Bird, Charlie Parker in California by Dave Chisholm. This was put out from Z2 Comics, which I know Dave has another book coming out from called Enter the Blue, which I'd encourage you to pick up as well, coming out soon. So this book has been out at least a year. I was a little late in getting on the Dave Chisholm train. I first found out about him, the wonderful comic shop in Lockport, New York. Pulp 716 Comics was very much on the Dave hype train and shared his book Canopus, and it actually took me a while. It took a while for the publisher of that book to put out the trade. You know, I was a dirty trade waiter, didn't want to pick up the scattered singles, and I regret that I didn't go out and get it, but I did pick up Canopus. That's another great book, so Dave's already got a couple under his belt here. But the reason I wanted to talk about this one today, again, is it fits in the theme that we're going with here in music-themed comics. And particularly this one, I understand after reading this book and following Dave. Dave is also a great follow on social media. I'll try to include some of his books, some of his social media, I'm sorry, in the description. But Dave is a great follow. I'm going to try to do the horrible thing and get some better lighting here. But yeah, I apologize. I have to work on my lighting here. But yeah, Dave is a great follow on social media. And yeah, he shares openly. He's a teacher, and I can understand why he wanted to write this book. The subject matter seems to fit in with his own playing. He is quite an accomplished musician himself, and yeah, so go check it out. And I can see why he would want to tackle Mr. Charlie Parker's life. I do understand that there is, I believe, another an autobiography or some other story I was able to find out about Charlie Parker by the same name. So I think that's it may have been a title of his album or something like that. I did not look into that in detail, but I'm just going to flip through here real quick. Again, the glare is pretty bad, so I apologize for that. Go pick this up. I think it speaks for itself. We won't go through every story, but yeah, again, part of the reason I wanted to bring Dan onto Drumsticks of Doom, he's a musician as well. I think he understands playing in bands, and I think this is a great example. I don't think you have to be. I don't think any artist. Artists are unique and have different styles, and I'm sure can bring out evocative imagery from any thing that they want to take on. But there's just something about when you see a musician like Andrew McLean, who we mentioned, who's a musician who made Moonhead and the Music Machines. Brian Lee O'Malley, I understand, has some background there as well. And now you see that here with Dave. Just these amazing images, the meticulously researched. There's a lot of footnotes in here. He could have easily just done autobiographical, but he's really taking the feeling of a musician playing and of a musician living that life. So you can tell that he has a lot of reference here, again, personally and professionally, in studying this book. It was just a great read. I'm running out of adjectives to really describe these awesome books. Again, you just see awesome. I mean, Dave is just an amazing illustrator. And I understand he did everything in this book. I don't know if that was out of necessity or that was just something he wanted to do. Or that was what he was hired for, but I think that adds to the book as well. You can really feel the love and care that was put into this story. I really think this should be on everybody's shelves and not just people who are may be interested in the subject matter. I'm not. I'm not an expert in jazz. It's not something that I've listened to a lot of or read autobiographies or anything like that. But this made me want to go out and find out more, which I think you should want as an author when somebody's reading an autobiography about subject matter they don't know. I wanted to find out more. Hello, this is John butting into his own video to talk to you about part of the reason I wanted to do this video, and then I totally got to the end and forgot. I wanted to mention the amazing music you hear in the background here by the amazing Wife's Blood, which is Natalie Mering and her band. This specific song was brought up when Dan and I were talking about Drumsticks of Doom, and Dan had asked, what did I think would be the music, or what kind of inspired the main character. And I had mentioned, previous videos, St. Vincent and Angel Olsen were big inspirations. But Dan presented me with this song, which, I hate to speak in hyperbole, but I often do. Life-changing event. Just really loved this song. It took me a while, I'll be honest. We were working on the book for a while. I had listened to some of her other tracks, and then I came across some of her live music on YouTube, and that was really the big changer for me. Some of the songs that I liked. I mean, this particular track is just world class right out the gate. This was what Dan had offered to me, so we'll always have that connection through this book, whatever the book becomes in the end. That was a really cool moment for me, and definitely going to be a big inspiration in what I think of for our main character Lana, and kind of the sound inside my head, so to speak, as I write this. So this was a huge soundtrack to the album, so definitely wanted to mention that. That's part of what this video is about, what I hope for the future for Drumsticks of Doom, and what the inspiration is. So I appreciate, and back to the video. It's not, as far as the story, how can I break it down? It's not an easy read, so to speak. I mean, he did not live a life that was heroic. He didn't really, sounds like at least, get the recognition he was searching for his music. He kind of lived a kind of a laissez-faire life. Didn't really take care of his own. That's covered a lot in the book. I won't spoil everything for you, but I think Dave captures that well. Even the mundane, when he's just kind of hanging out at a house pool party or something like that. It's just, and he switches these styles. I mean, look at this. Like, he picks for different scenes, and I think he goes over that either in the back of the book or maybe in some subsequent interviews I read, because it's from different people's perspectives about, oh God, look at this one. This is where we're going to end. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to that image. And again, when you read through, you'll get even more, because it builds up to a lot of his history and kind of how he gets to this point. And he did struggle with drugs and things that may have been common when you were traveling around at those times, or even now. But so the subject matter is great. The art is insane. The musical influence is just a home run. This book is just so good. Worth every penny. Track it down. Again, I know it not always the most thrilling review to have somebody just say, it's great, it's awesome, it's great. But I think in this case, you see this amazing cover here. It pulls you in right away. I did not want to put it down. This is a book I read several months ago and still sticks with me. So that's why, even though a lot of people review books that are new, I want, at least if I'm going to continue these reviews, to make sure that I fill the channel with things that I feel like need to be talked about more, need to be on people's radars, that I want to fill my channel up with things that I'm really passionate about. And this book is definitely at the top of my list. I would highly recommend it. It's one that I would plan to probably gift to people in the future. This is a great, standalone autobiography, and an awesome foreword by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So that's cool too. So Z2 is putting out some really interesting stuff. They're very, I've mentioned before, doing a lot of music-themed books, and they have a lot of my interests. There's a Joan Jett one coming out. with Liana Kangas. There's been several other ones. So I believe Z2 is also putting out Enter the Blue, which again looks like it's about a trumpet player, which I believe is Dave's actual instrument is trumpet, um, but in the same ballpark with the brass instruments. So again, I feel like you just feel his love for music and art all come together in this book, and I hope that he makes as many books that people buy his books and pay him whatever he wants to just continue to make these books. And I would love to work with him as well someday in the future on one of our projects for a cover or something like that, because he checks all the boxes for what you want for someone in a music themed book. But thank you for tuning in. Again, I think we've said enough kind words about this. Check out Drumsticks of Doom on Kickstarter. It's still going on until March 12th. If you missed it, check out the links below. It will be available on our site as well. And this is one that is going to stick with me for a while and be something that is a high bar that I'm trying to reach in the stories that I'm writing in Drumsticks of Doom, and hopefully long into the future as the successful Kickstarter is still chugging along here. Thanks, everybody. Take care.